Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Thursday, the 1st of October, comes to you from London. So, the start of a new quarter, and we're seeing quite a lot of different colours on the screen. Interestingly, Tokyo last night had a major glitch, and that market ended up not trading, so that's quite unusual. And whilst we're at it, the Chinese market's actually on holiday as well. So Asia was relatively quiet. If we look at the dollar, first of all, we're just sinking lower again. This week, we're giving up about half the gains that we made last week. So we're seeing here that was last week's move in the daily chart, and then a fall away this week, and that's shown up in the weekly candle. This is my weekly chart, my daily, and my 60-minute long-term, medium-term, and short-term view of the market all in one, with the corresponding point and figure targets, of course. So euro dollar is sitting at 117. That's had a pretty good week against the dollar. We've activated an upside target to 120, not breaking the trend there yet. It may well be on this chart, on the daily, we see that was support becoming resistance. That's quite a common theme in technical analysis, so just watch for that. Sterling sitting at 128.75 against the dollar. So it's falling away a bit this morning, but has had a relatively strong week against that weaker dollar, and against the euro sitting at 109.68, still in that medium-term downtrend. Has had a bit of a better week, but sterling has suffered on Brexit fears, of course. Bitcoin sitting at $10,870 this morning, so just gradually climbing. Bullish on all three time frames, so Bitcoin looking better there. The S&P 500 index had quite a strong showing yesterday. That's put this market back into bullish territory on the short-term chart, but of course we do still have these targets hanging over us. This has now locked the downside target to 18% on the 1% chart. So if we make new lows, that will be very bad for the market. The Nasdaq, similar picture, had a good day yesterday. Bullish in all three time frames, but we do still have these downside targets hanging over us, and they will only be removed if we make new highs. The Dow was up 1.2%, so a good showing there as well. And the futures are looking strong this morning. The S&P future up just under 1%, and the Nasdaq E-mini up at just under 1%. So markets are in recovery mode. That means the VIX volatility, the fear index, is actually down 2%, back to around 25. That's the lowest level we've seen for a good couple of weeks, and it's showing that just the general trend for the VIX is improving there. FTSE futures up 0.75%, and the cash index in Germany is flat. It is up slightly, but it is flat, and the CAC 40 a better showing, up 0.8%. As we mentioned, Japan was closed. The Hang Seng index also closed for the Chinese holiday, so we're seeing Asia pretty quiet all round. India was up 1.5% on the Sensex, so that's a pretty good showing, and the Aussie market was up 1% after a pretty tough week so far. We saw those falls away in the Aussie. Taking a look at gold, sitting at 1895 in bullish short-term trend mode. 1900 is looking like quite serious short-term resistance there. We do have a target to 1991. If we break that 1900 level, then we run another $100 for gold. The long-term chart still looking pretty spectacular. Silver is actually up nearly 2% this morning, having had a terrible week last week. We are just recovering now, and we are short-term bullish, so that's quite key. Also, just noticing US 10-year yields just ticking up slightly. We're at 0.7%. That's the highest level we've seen for a couple of weeks. We've been very flat, of course, over the last several months on yields, but we are just seeing a tick up there in the yield, so that is looking more positive for US rates. And we have got a target to 0.8% on the yield chart there. Looking now at the energy mix, crude is down this morning, rollover this morning, so it'll be interesting to see whether we move higher. WTI sitting at $40, and has recovered a little bit there yesterday. And then if we look at US nat gas, sitting at 255 at the moment, so holding on to gains there. Coal sitting at $60.50, has broken the $60 mark. Hasn't broken the July high yet, so we've got some resistance there. Just need to break that for coal to keep running, but it is looking still pretty bullish. Emissions down 1% this morning, really hovering around this 26 mark. 26 euros is support, and of course it's all about breaking out of that 30 euro mark there. So we've got this real range between 25 and 30 euros. If we look at gas prices, we're seeing here MBP rollover, of course, today, and the same with TTF. But the trend's still very much up there. And if we look at winter gas now, it's also looking strong and seasonal, just hitting some resistance again from that August high. German power is down 0.5% this morning, sitting at 41.15, but we are still just in bullish territory, waiting for the big break on power. And I will be doing a power market special on the NMAC conference. If you look at my LinkedIn, there's details of how you log in to see that today. So looking forward to that. That's it for now. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.